Good morning. Thanks for joining us here at the Weather Network on this Monday. It is the 2nd of March, 5:44. I'm Emily Vukovic.
I'm Tom Reynolds, and hopefully had a good weekend. Are all restored. We're looking pretty good right now from the standpoint of the drive. It's we got a crash down at, I'm hearing at QEW in Trafalgar. Maybe a car's going into the ditch. We'll update that coming up.
All right. Well, we have a messy mix of snow and rain and ice pellets and freezing rain that we're going to be talking to you about in just a few moments. But first, let's take a quick look at our current temperatures. We're looking at
with sun, and that'll feel a whole lot better. You know what I've noticed? Solar loading.
Yeah, of course. On Saturday.
The day's getting longer. You can
Gorgeous.
feel that sun. Thank goodness.
Well, it just means that spring is right around the corner, and well, they were bang on for this winter. So let's keep our fingers crossed that our spring plays out the way we want it to, right? All right, take a look at this must-see video. Talk more about the messy mix that's on the way for tomorrow, but first, here's Tom with traffic. Well, today's not a bad day. Mix of sun and cloud, daytime high of -3. We are going to see a clear overnight, and then tomorrow morning, quite a bit of cloud cover as the snow starts to approach. Temperatures will be cold enough that we could pick up anywhere between 5 to 10 centimeters. Now, it'll be all snow for the morning, it'll be all snow for the afternoon, but the evening commute, that's when things start to get a little bit tricky. This is going to be more so around the dinner time hour and a little bit later, but still, we're transitioning into some ice pellets and potentially some freezing rain. Temperatures will be warming up pre-dawn Wednesday, so we may actually pick up a bit of rain, which is bad news in all scenarios, because if it freezes like it will on Wednesday, because temperatures are going to drop, it is going to make for some very, very slippery road conditions. Snowfall accumulations 5 to 10 for the GTA areas a little bit further south. We're looking at about 2 to 5. Once this system moves out, we've got colder air tracking in for Wednesday, and then on Thursday we're looking at a daytime high of -10. Well, our spring outlook gets released tomorrow, which is great news. 6 a.m. for us throughout southern Ontario, throughout the GTA. We'll get a bit of a tease, and then your regional. Someone in here, it means Atlantic Canada. They've been hit storm after storm after storm after storm, and we've just been dealing with incredibly cold air. Coldest February on record, to be specific. We're going to see a mix of sun and cloud today, clear through the overnight. Snow moves in tomorrow. This is going to turn into a messy system. Once the snow pushes out, we're going to see snow morning and through the afternoon. We do have the potential for some freezing rain, some ice pellets, not good for driving through your evening commute. And then the potential is there for it to transition over into straight rain. Now, about 5 to 10 centimeters, generally speaking, throughout southern Ontario. And then we're going to see a transition back to high pressure for Wednesday, sunshine, but
this one.
Hi there, good morning. Thanks for joining us here on the Weather Network. It's Monday. It is the 2nd of March, 4 minutes after 6 o'clock. I'm Emily Vukovic.
And I'm Tom Reynolds, and hope you had a good weekend, or well restored. Didn't have to do much shoveling over the weekend, which was kind of nice. We thought we might see a little bit of snow, but it all sort of tracks south of us.
Well, we had a little bit of a dusting.
Well, we had one flake in Georgetown.
Yeah, we had a little more than that, Oakville. Well, today it is balmy compared to what it was any day last week.
It's not doing too badly, but it's going to be fairly nice this afternoon.
Oh, yeah, it's going to be great.
Yeah.
And you know what gets released tomorrow?
What gets released tomorrow?
I know a lot of people are anticipating this because we've got some good or bad news depending on what you like, I guess.
Well, I like warm, hot temperatures. What about that?
Well, that might be summer, Tom.
Oh.
Hot.
So that's the spring forecast.
We're talking
that's the
spring.
Summer forecast.
Yes, we're talking spring.
All right.
All right, take a look at this must-see video. Okay. They've got lights. They're all set up. Isn't that fun? Oh, I'd be scared it would all collapse on me. Okay, your long-range forecast is coming up. We'll talk about the messy rain-snow mix that we have on the way for tomorrow. I know, you talk about spring, it's like all of a sudden we're warm. All those details just ahead, but first, here's Tom with traffic. Well, today looks good. Today we've got some sunshine in the forecast. We're looking at a daytime high of -3, so really quite comfortable considering what we've been dealing with. Coldest month on record. February was the coldest February on record. Incredibly cold. By tomorrow morning, we're going to start to see some snow moving in. We're going to continue to see that snow right through to the evening, and then we're going to start to see a bit of a transition. We are going to start to see some freezing drizzle move its way in through the afternoon down towards the southwest, and then by the evening hours, it's going to push in through Hamilton, through Burlington, Oakville, Toronto, all the way east towards Oshawa, and then there is the potential pre-dawn Wednesday for us to see a transition into some rain. Bad news, that's going to freeze. It's going to cause for very slippery road conditions. 5 to 10 centimeters, generally speaking, for snowfall amounts throughout the lower Great Lakes. Once this all moves out, we'll see high pressure move in for Wednesday, and then we're going to be seeing a mix of sun and cloud with temperatures that I think we can handle a little bit better throughout the remainder of the week. Yeah, for some reason, Tom, I don't think it's only going to be the trains and the buses. I think everyone is going to like this weather a lot better. Speaking of better weather, that's normally what happens in spring and our spring outlook. I'm sure you can't keep everybody happy, but regardless, spring is on the way. It's just around the corner. Take a look at this must-see video. If you, it's pretty cool, isn't it? All right, today we're going to see a mix of sun and cloud. It's a nice day. -3 is our daytime high. Tonight we stay clear, but then tomorrow morning, lots of cloud cover, and then the snow will begin. We've got a very messy Colorado low joining forces with a northern low, and it is going to start off by bringing us snow. Once the afternoon kicks in, we'll start to see that freezing rain as we get a push of warm air down through London, in through Waterloo, through Kitchener, through Guelph and Cambridge. And by the evening, it's going to reach as far east as into, say, Oshawa. This is going to be really messy for the evening commute. We may even transition into some rain through the late overnight, early Wednesday morning with some warm air. Generally speaking, before the freezing rain falls, we're going to pick up about 5 to 10 centimeters of snow through the GTA. Whew, that must be cold. Glad people do it for us, that's for sure. Thanks for joining us. I'm Emily Vukovic. It is Monday. It is the 2nd of March. And February, if you thought it was a cold month, well, you would be right. Well, we do have some active weather on the way. Not today. We're looking at a daytime high of -3 and some sunshine. It'll kick off tomorrow. We've got lots of cloud cover in the morning, and then the snow will begin by probably around the noon hour and stick around for most of the afternoon. Now, as we get into the evening, we're going to get a little push of warm air, so temperatures are actually going to go up. We're going to see a transition from snow to a rain-snow mix by the afternoon down through Guelph and through Waterloo and Kitchener and Cambridge. But then by the evening, it's going to move its way north, just south of Barrie through Toronto, all the way east towards Oshawa. And then by the pre-dawn hours, it looks like most people are going to be into that freezing rain, kind of ice pellets, freezing drizzle. And then some areas, even through Hamilton and Burlington, might get into some straight rain. And that'll all freeze, and not a good scenario for road conditions Wednesday and into Thursday. 5 to 10 centimeters, generally speaking, through much of the GTA. So just be prepared to give yourself a little bit more extra travel time throughout the day tomorrow. Speaking of travel time in your commute, I'm going to turn things over to Tom for traffic. Active weather is our story. Not so much for today. Today we're going to see sunshine, daytime high of -3. It's going to be an absolutely gorgeous day. Get out and enjoy it. Now, through the overnight and tomorrow morning, we'll start to see some cloud cover, and then by around noon and into the afternoon, between kind of 12 and 4 p.m., that's where we're going to see our heaviest snow throughout the GTA. We're looking at about 5 to 10 centimeters. By the afternoon, down towards Waterloo and in through Kitchener and Cambridge and through Guelph, the potential is there for some freezing rain and some ice pellets. By the evening, it'll inch its way closer to the Toronto area and east, further off towards Oshawa and just south of Barrie. We are going to see the possibility of it transitioning into some rain. Temperatures are really going to be warm into the warm sector of this system. 5 to 10 centimeters, generally speaking, and then behind it, well, the cold front is not going to be that cold. We're actually going to see mild temperatures throughout the day on Wednesday, but they're still going to be cold enough, meaning below 0, that we can see all of the rain freeze, which will be a very bad scenario on the roads for both Wednesday and Thursday, but we'll see some sunshine for the remainder
This weather.
Hi there, good morning. Thanks for joining us here on this Monday. It is the 2nd of March, 44 minutes after 6 o'clock. I'm Emily Vukovic.
And I'm Tom Reynolds. Hope you had a good weekend, and it's certainly milder out there right now than it has been. Thankfully, a lot of this cold weather is gone, and we've...
For now.
We've got some good news, though, don't we?
We do. Well, we've got some bad news first, but then we've got good news. Yeah.
Right.
Well, let's check in with Kevin. He's in beautiful downtown Toronto. And Kevin, you're going to be doing something really cool today, potentially, right? Tell us a little bit about kite wing. All right. Thanks so much, Kevin. Well, guess what's right around the corner?
What is right around the corner?
Spring.
Yay. Hallelujah.
Yay.
Hallelujah.
And we had a pretty rough winter. We're still experiencing it. And our experts, if you remember back in November, they said this. Talk about the messy system that's on the way for tomorrow in just a moment, but first, here's Tom with traffic. Not a ton of active weather today. We've got sunshine. -3 is our daytime high. Tomorrow, snow moves in late morning, early afternoon, sticks around till about 4. By the time the late afternoon, evening kicks around, we are going to be seeing that transition to freezing drizzle, some ice pellets in the area. That's going to make for very slippery road conditions, especially through your late evening commute. Once that kind of tracks to the east, some areas, including Hamilton and in through the Niagara region, temperatures will be warm enough to see rain. Generally speaking, we're looking at about 5 to 10 centimeters of snow. Take Taking a look now at the long-range forecast. Thanks so much for joining us here on the Weather Network. I'm Emily Vukovic. It is Monday. It is the 2nd of March, and temperatures are finally starting to warm up. Now, if you lived through this February and you thought, okay, this has to be the coldest February ever, you would have been correct. It is the coldest, well, we suffered through the coldest February on record. The average temperature was minus 12.6. We should have been around minus 4.5. The old record, 1979, minus 10.8. Hamilton fared the same demise. Minus 13.6 was the average temperature. So very, very, very cold. Right now we're in third place for sub-freezing temperatures for consecutive days not hitting the freezing mark. So far, we've hit 36, 37 days. By tomorrow, it'll be 37 days. So right now, we're in third. I'm okay with bronze in this case. I am okay with a bronze medal. I do not need to be getting gold in that category, that's for sure. Tomorrow, we have a messy system on the way. We are going to see our first shot of snow in the morning, continuing through the afternoon, probably till about 4 p.m. And then we are going to be seeing the transition to some mixing, some ice pellets, some freezing rain, and then we have the potential to see some rain. So a very typical spring-like system. By Wednesday, once it moves out, we've got breezy, cool conditions moving through. And then on Thursday, we're looking at colder and fair conditions. So lots of sunshine. So really, the system that's going to be moving in throughout the day tomorrow, that's going to be the most active weather we are going to be seeing all week. By Friday, breezy and milder. Oh, I feel like we haven't seen the word milder on a map in months. We really haven't. It's been frigid. Frigid, frigid, frigid. Early March, with the exception of a couple of days, we're still looking at a lot of cold Arctic air moving in, but you can actually tell that the pattern really is starting to change, which I think is good news for many who are just kind of over the winter. Spring Outlook gets released tomorrow, 6 a.m. You do not want to miss it. It'll repeat every hour, so make sure you stay with us for that. All right, I'm going to turn things over to Tom Reynolds. He has an update on your morning commute. Hi there, good morning. Thanks for joining us here on the Weather Network. It's Monday. It is the 2nd of March, 4 minutes after 7 o'clock. I'm Emily Vukovic.
And I'm Tom Reynolds. I'm so glad March is here.
Me too.
I think everybody is really. You can feel that solar loading a little bit, more sunshine, longer days. It makes you feel a lot better.
Kevin Yard is joining us from beautiful downtown Toronto. And Kevin, you are not decked out in your parka this morning. That is nice to see, and it must be nice to feel for you, isn't it? One sport I probably will never, ever do in my life.
On the ice?
Yeah.
I think it'd be kind of exciting. Down in Hamilton Bay, they often have those...
kite surfers?
Yeah, they fly across the ice racers. It's incredible.
Don't think I do it. A lot of people are going to be happy because it's going to be exciting news for many people. Take a look at this must-see video. Wow. See something like that coming at you? No thanks. Let's talk more about the messy system that's on the way for Ontario tomorrow, but first here's Tom with traffic. Well, we're seeing some light snow through some areas right now. We've been dealing with light snow through Kitchener and through parts of Waterloo, but not a ton. As you can see, it's just a little bit of enhancement, and then it'll move out. By this afternoon, we are going to see some sunshine. We're looking at -3 for our daytime high, balmy in comparison for what we were dealing with last week. We are going to see some cloud cover move in through the early morning hours tomorrow, and then the snow will start around midday. It'll be at its heaviest until about 4 o'clock. Then we're going to start to see a transition through London and through Windsor up towards, say, Kitchener, Waterloo. We could start to see some ice pellets and some freezing drizzle making its way through much of the GTA by the evening, late morning commute, and then the potential is there for it to transition into some rain. Well, we're seeing a little bit of light snow right now coming in through Kitchener, but it is very, very light. We're not going to see heavy accumulation from it. This afternoon, we've got a bit of sunshine in the forecast. Temperatures getting up to -3. That's pretty much warm compared to what we've been dealing with. Messy system starts to move in throughout the day tomorrow. We'll start off with snow at about noon, continue until about 4 o'clock, and then that's when things start to transition. We'll get a push of warm air from the south. We've got the potential to see some freezing rain, some ice pellets through Toronto, up through just south of Barrie, down through Kitchener, Waterloo, and through Hamilton and Burlington, all the way over towards the Niagara region. And then temperatures are going to warm up even more so, especially down towards the Niagara region. So through Hamilton, just on the cusp of this, we could actually just be dealing with showers pre-dawn Wednesday. And then throughout the day on Wednesday, temperatures are going to be dropping, so all of that moisture will freeze, leaving for bad road conditions. Well, a few light flurries throughout Kitchener and in through the Waterloo area, even as far south down towards Georgetown, we're seeing them. But they're going to taper off throughout the day, and we're going to be left with some sunshine, and daytime highs getting around -3. So that's balmy compared to what we've been dealing with. But be prepared for some active weather. Starting tomorrow, we've got snow coming in. We're looking at about 5 to 10 centimeters, generally speaking. And then a push of warm air is going to to bring in some freezing rain and some ice pellets, and unfortunately it's going to be happening right at your evening commute. We'll have more details coming up after this. Good morning. It is Monday. It is the 2nd of March. Thanks for joining us here on the Weather Network. It's 7:44. I'm Emily Vukovic.
And I'm Tom Reynolds, and you can feel it every day you walk out and get a little sunshine. You just feel the heat, the loading of the sun. It's beautiful. The days are getting longer. Gets light sooner, gets dark later. It's just lovely. It really
It's
is.
that time of year.
Yeah.
Kevin Yard is joining us in Toronto, and he's going to be doing some kite winging this morning, potentially. Now, Kevin, I know this is something that's probably new to you, but at least we might get to see someone else do it, right? All right. Thanks so much, Kevin. It looks like a lot of fun, doesn't it? Would you do it?
I totally would.
Yeah?
Yeah, I've done some kite surfing and stuff like that before, but I've never done on the ice. Kind of cool. Yeah.
We should get you signed up.
Sure.
All right, take a look at this must-see video. Weather on the way for tomorrow and into Wednesday, and I'm going to talk more about that because it includes snow and rain and freezing rain. Things could get messy. All those details just ahead, but first, Tom, what's going on the roads? Well, we've got some active weather on the way, and it's not today. Right now, we're seeing some light snow throughout southern Ontario, but by this afternoon, we're going to be seeing some sunshine, temperatures getting up to -3. Great day to be outside. Through the overnight, a lot of cloud cover, and then the snow will start to move in around noon, so about midday tomorrow, and that'll continue until about 4. That's the heaviest snow. Then we're going to start to see that transition to rain, snow mix, ice pellets, and freezing drizzle through London, up through Kitchener, Waterloo through the afternoon, into Toronto by the evening, all the way south of Barrie. It is going to be a mess through your evening commute, and then even some areas to the extreme south could transition over to rain through the overnight. Active weather on the way for southern Ontario. We've got a rain-snow mix potentially for tomorrow after about 5 to 10 centimeters of snow. Snow through the afternoon. By the evening, we're looking at a mix of ice pellets and freezing rain, making for a very slippery drive. Good morning. It's Monday. It's March the 2nd. Thank you so much for joining us here on the Weather Network. It's 4 minutes after 8 o'clock. I'm Emily Vukovic.
And I'm Tom Reynolds. March sounds so much nicer than February.
Doesn't it?
Yeah.
Especially when February
was the coldest one on record? Is that what you're trying to say?
Yes. I've got like mummy brain and like mummy tongue today. It's awful.
Well, that happened.
Coldest on record.
Yes,
this
it
year.
was. And certainly the sun's feeling nicer right now, which is good, and the days are longer, which is great.
Kevin Yard is joining us with a beautiful scene in the background, Lake Ontario. Someone's going to be doing some kite winging behind you, Kevin. Are the winds just right? Wow, I don't know if that's a sport I could get into.
Well, listen, you could commute to work doing that. Really?
I actually kind of could. Yeah, I could. I could.
There you go. You just get off down here and walk up the road.
Yeah, no problem.
Or put on roller skates and go up that way.
Oh, yeah. All right, we've got some active weather on the way tomorrow, and I will talk about that in just a moment. But first, here's Tom with traffic. Seeing some light snow throughout southern Ontario right now, but it will taper off. Just a little bit of lake enhancement. We've got some sunshine moving in for the afternoon. Daytime high, -3. Mild in comparison to what we've been dealing with, well, the entire month of February. Snow on the way throughout the day tomorrow. We're looking at it beginning around lunchtime for the GTA and continuing until about 4 p.m. And then we're going to start to see a bit of a transition. We'll see a bit of a rain-snow mix potentially, some freezing rain and some ice pellets. It's not the amount of snow that we're going to be dealing with. That's the worst part of this storm. It's the timing. It's going to be happening during your evening commute. So very, very slippery road conditions. By the evening, we're looking at freezing drizzle from London all the way up towards, say, Oshawa. And then we're going to see a potential transition to straight rain to areas to the south. Overall, about 5 to 10 centimeters for much of southern Ontario. Well, we've been seeing some light snow this morning through Georgetown, through Brampton, through Kitchener, but for the most part, it's not going to stick around. It's going to taper off, and we're going to see some sunshine throughout the afternoon. Daytime high getting up to -3, so balmy in comparison to what we've been dealing with, well, for the entire month of February. Snow on the way for tomorrow. This will start around midday, continue till about 4 o'clock, and then we're going to start to see that transition that nobody wants to see. Freezing rain and ice pellets. By the afternoon, it'll move in through London and in through Grimsby, throughout Kitchener, Waterloo, through Guelph, and in through Cambridge. And then by the evening, it'll start to move its way a little bit further north, just south of Barrie, through Toronto, in through Scarborough, over towards Oshawa. It is going to be incredibly dicey for your commute home tomorrow evening. Some areas, even through the overnight, could transition over into a little bit of rain. The amount of snow is not the biggest concern. It's going to be the timing, which is bad, beginning to switch over to freezing precipitation just around your evening commute. Not a bad day today. We've got sunshine in the forecast, temperatures getting up to -3. Now be prepared to take public transit tomorrow because we've got a very messy system on the way. It'll start off as snow about mid-morning into the afternoon. Heaviest snow will be kind of in between noon and 4 p.m. And then we're going to start to see that transition. A push of warm air from the south in through Cambridge, Kitchener, through Waterloo, through London, and through Grimsby and Sarnia. We're going to start to see a freezing rain kind of ice pellets mix. And then it's going to reach through the city of Toronto over towards, say, Scarborough and over towards Oshawa, just south of Barrie. By the evening hours, so anywhere through the Golden Horseshoe, roads are going to be incredibly slick for your evening commute. It's not so much the amount of snow that we're going to be picking up, it's when it's going to be happening. During the day, we're looking at about 5 to 7 centimeters of snow, and then mixed precipitation on top of that just as you're heading home for your evening commute. So very, very slippery, dangerous road conditions. 5 to 10 centimeters, generally speaking, and then a push of cold air behind this system, making it all freeze up. Hi there, good morning. Thanks for joining us here on the Weather Network. It's Monday. It is the 2nd of March, 8:44. I'm Emily Vukovic.
And I'm Tom Reynolds. And March is such a nice month. I mean, first of all, spring arrives in March.
It does, March 20th.
The sun loading gets increasing through March as well.
It does.
It's lovely. And the days get longer in March.
Yeah.
So all that's a good thing.
I agree, because I only have 3 more months until this baby decides to make its appearance.
And then you're
so
off for a year.
Yep.
Lucky you.
Because it's it's a year vacation.
It's
Of course.
I'm not going to say that. No.
You are close.
I'm not going to.
Kevin's joining us outside in Toronto. And Kevin, beautiful start to the morning in comparison to pretty much all of last month, correct? All right, thanks so much, Kevin. We've been talking about the good things that March brings, and the spring outlook is certainly one of them.
Well, sure, absolutely.
Yes, coming up at 9 p.m. Tomorrow evening. All right, we'll talk about the long-range forecast. Very cool stuff. All right, messy system on the way for tomorrow. Will we reach the freezing mark? Are we going to break that record? We'll talk more about that, but first, here's Tom. Well, we've got some active weather on the way, but not today. Today we've got sunshine, temperatures getting up to -3 by the afternoon. Active weather will start to kick off tomorrow at around midday, heaviest snow between 12 and 4 p.m. And then, unfortunately, the timing of this could not be worse. We're going to get a push of warm air from the south, so all that precipitation is going to change to a bit of rain, snow mix, as well as freezing rain and ice pellets. So by the evening commute, Toronto is in it. We are going to be seeing very slippery road conditions on top of 5 to 6 centimeters of snow, freezing drizzle and ice pellets. No, thank you. Take TTC tomorrow if you can. Public transportation is the way to go. And then colder air moving in behind the system. Thanks for joining us. I'm Emily Vukovic, and joining me, meteorologist Dr. Doug Gillum. Well, February was a cold month to say the least, but it looks as though the cold is just not finished with us yet, is it?
No, it's not. But the good news is we will go above freezing in March, something we didn't do during the month of February.
Is that supposed to be a joke, Doug? Come on. It better get above freezing in March.
And probably several times. The question is when. The streak continues. We have not been above freezing since January 24th, but we have a couple of chances in the long range. So it's not a certainty we'll get to number 2. I think it is a certainty we won't get to number 1.
Okay, that's all I wanted to hear. I don't want to be first in this scenario. I'm okay with bronze or even silver, but gold, no thank you.
So at the end of the week, it'll feel like February did at times. But some milder temperatures. We start off, it comes with a price. We have our very messy commute. This is not really long range, but highlight the very messy commute Tuesday afternoon with a transition to some ice as we go into the evening. And during the overnight into Wednesday morning, that is our first chance to approach or even exceed freezing. We're going to be quite mild in the morning, near 0, and then plunging temperatures as we go through the afternoon and evening, rather blustery, and there you go. Thursday, frigid down.
You put that word back in. I was
for
hoping, Doug, I'd never see that word again.
Not done yet, but down around -18 first thing in the morning, a frigid day, and you're -18 again on Friday.
Okay, well, it's not -30.
Right. Then as we go through the weekend, temperatures do recover. It's somewhat like this past weekend, even a couple degrees milder. A clipper comes through, does bring us some snow showers later Saturday into Saturday night, but not too bad.
This weekend looks good for skiers.
Yeah, it does. And next week, another shot of cold temperatures to start the week, but towards the middle to end of next week, some milder temperatures.
I don't think anybody minds temporary at this point. Hi there. Thanks for joining us here on the Weather Network. I'm Emily Vukovic. It is Monday. It is March the 2nd. And today we've got sunshine in the forecast and mild temperatures. I say mild because it is compared to what we dealt with the entire month of February. Kevin Yard is outside. He's in downtown Toronto enjoying the elements. And Kevin, what's going on down there? That's awesome. Good for him. I don't know if it's a sport that I would ever try, but it looks like a lot of fun, doesn't it? Hey, we've got some good news. I know a lot of people have anxiously been anticipating this, updated at about 9 p.m. So stay with us for all of those details. Not a lot of active weather today. We're going to see some sunshine, daytime high of -3. That's balmy compared to what it has been. But tomorrow, active weather moves in. We've got some snow beginning around midday. It's going to be at its heaviest until about 4 o'clock. And then we're going to start to see a bit of a transition. So once the heavy snow starts to taper off, temperatures are actually going to get a little bit warmer. We get a push of warm air from the south, and we're going to start to transition into some freezing rain and ice pellets through London, through Kitchener, through Waterloo, through Guelph, and in through Cambridge, all the way south up towards Barrie, in through Toronto, and over towards Oshawa by the evening. The amount of snow is not the biggest deal when it comes to this system because, yeah, we're generally seeing about 5 to 10 centimeters. It is going to be the timing of this. So we've got 5 to 6 centimeters of snow on the ground just in time for the evening commute, and then the freezing rain and the ice pellets begin. So very, very slippery road conditions. You're really going to want to take your time and just try and be safe as possible. Maybe take public transportation to work tomorrow so you don't have to worry about it coming home. Behind this system, we do have a push of colder air. It's going to be mild Wednesday morning, but then temperatures are going to drop throughout the day, and by Thursday, we are back into the deep freeze. It is going to feel like -17 on Thursday when you factor in the wind, but then we do get milder by the time the weekend rolls around. So we're going to see a bit of a roller coaster these next couple of days with not only the first system coming in on Thursday, but then we've got the second system coming in on Saturday. Hi there, good morning. Thanks for joining us here on the Weather Network. I'm Emily Vukovic. It is Monday. It is the 2nd of March, and today almost feels balmy in comparison to what we've been dealing with. It has been a very cold winter, and what do you know? That's exactly what Chris St. Clair and Chris Scott were talking about when they gave us the winter outlook back in November. Take a look at this. Somewhere, meaning Atlantic Canada, they have seen storm after storm after storm after storm. Good news, now our spring outlook is going to be released. So we are going to be seeing a messy system on the way for tomorrow, but it kind of looks spring-like, and I'll get to that in a moment. But first, check out this must-see video. Doesn't it? Very cool. All right, we've got a messy system on the way for tomorrow, lots of active weather. But first, we're going to see some sunshine today. We've been dealing with kind of light flurries on and off for the morning hours, depending on where you are. I know Kitchener and then through Georgetown have seen some snow. But tomorrow, we are going to see some real snow. This is coming in around the noon hour, continuing until about 4 p.m. That's when we're going to see kind of the heaviest band of snow. Generally speaking, 5 to 10 centimeters. And then by the afternoon, we're going to start to see a bit of a transition because we're going to see a push of warm air from the south, freezing rain and ice pellets. Now, the snow is not the major issue with this system. It is going to be the mixing, and it's going to be our road conditions during your evening commute. That is something that I cannot tell you enough. It is going to be dangerous. It is going to be slippery. It is going to be icy because after we see about 5 to 6 centimeters of snow, when that transition happens, that's going to be right in the middle of your commute. So give yourself lots of extra travel time, take public transit if you can, and then by pre-dawn Wednesday, we're going to get another push of warm air, and that could transition a lot of this back into just rain through Hamilton and through the Niagara region. 5 to 10 centimeters throughout the day. The unfortunate situation is that temperatures are really going to cool down behind this. We're going to see an early day high on Wednesday, but then temperatures really cooling down, so all of that precipitation will freeze. Good morning. Thanks for joining us here on the Weather Network. I'm Emily Vukovic. It is Monday. It is the 2nd of March, and temperatures today are balmy in comparison to what we were dealing with through the entire month of February. If you thought, boy, this is a cold month, you were right. It's cold. For me, I don't want to be in first. I am okay with sitting in third for the rest of the winter. Rest of the winter? It's barely a couple of weeks away that we're going to see spring, and our spring outlook is launched tomorrow. Great news, then your regional outlook comes out at 9 p.m. tomorrow night, so set the PVR if you're not going to be home. All right, take a look at this must-see video. This is in Australia. A massive storm hit, and look at the size of this shelf cloud. It is huge. Power was knocked out to thousands, and there were over 250 calls to emergency workers to fix broken roofs. The wind was that bad. We've got some active weather on the way for southern Ontario. Not so much this afternoon. We are going to be seeing some sunshine, but by tomorrow morning, we're starting to see some snow come in. We've got a Colorado low mixing with a low from the north, and that is going to bring very messy conditions. That cold air meeting that warm air is going to give us some mixing, which is really unfortunate because the timing of this, I really don't think could be worse. It's going to be happening right in your evening commute. So we're going to see snow throughout the day from about 12 p.m. to about 4 p.m. That's where we're going to see the heaviest amount of precipitation. And then we're going to start to see that transition late afternoon, early evening down towards Kitchener through Waterloo and Guelph and Cambridge, and then towards Hamilton and Burlington and Oakville through Toronto, up through Oshawa, north, just south of Barrie. We're going to see that freezing rain and ice pellets. That's going to continue for the majority of the overnight, but some areas are going to be seeing this transition to straight rain, like through Hamilton and in through Niagara, through St. Catharines. 5 to 10 centimeters of snow on the way, but that's not going to be the bad part. The bad part is going to be the mixing and the colder temperatures behind this system. So pre-dawn Wednesday, temperatures are actually going to be at their warmest. We're looking at about -1. But then throughout the day, temperatures are going to be dropping and all of that precipitation is going to freeze. And by Thursday, we're back into the deep freeze with bad wind chills. So spring is on the way, yes, but we're still dealing with winter-like conditions. Hi there, thanks for joining us here on the Weather Network. I'm Emily Vukovic. It's Monday, it is the 2nd of March, and it is sunny and it is mild. Today, temperatures are going to hit about -3 for the afternoon, but that's a lot warmer than it has been for the last, say month. Yeah, we actually hit the coldest February on record at Pearson and throughout Hamilton. It's been very cold. Poor Kevin Yard, he's been braving those elements all month long, but now that it's March, the sun is shining, and you must be feeling a big sigh of relief, Kevin, to not be in frigid temperatures this morning. Very cool. Not a sport that I would participate in, but it looks like a lot of fun. Take a look at this must-see video. Could be. Very cool. All right, today we're not going to see a ton of active weather. We do have lots of sunshine in the forecast. We are, however, going to be seeing a system move throughout the day tomorrow, starting with snow by the afternoon, the heaviest snow between kind of noon and 4 p.m. And then we're going to start to see a transition because of a push of warm air from the south. We've got that transition to a bit of a rain-snow mix, ice pellets, freezing rain. It's not going to be a good scenario. It'll kick in through Kitchener, Waterloo, and in through Cambridge by the afternoon. It'll be our story through Toronto through the evening. The timing of this honestly could not be worse. So it's not the amount of snow that we're really concerned about. We are going to pick up anywhere between 5 to 10 centimeters. But after the 5 to 10 centimeters, that's when we're going to see that mixed precipitation making roads an absolute mess. And behind that, temperatures are going to be cooling down. So all of that precipitation, it is going to freeze, making for some very slippery road conditions. All right, here's Kim McDonald now for Around the World in 60 seconds. Hi there, good morning. Thanks for joining us here on the Weather Network. I'm Emily Vukovic. It is Monday, it is the 2nd of March, and today temperatures are balmy in comparison to what they have been for the last month. That's right, February was record-breaking. We'll talk about that in a moment. But first, as we get closer and closer to spring, we wonder, well, now we had some predictions about the winter. Were they correct? I'm going to say yes. Chris St. Clair and Chris Scott share this with you. Well, we've been dealing with the potential for some active weather for a couple of days, but it's not coming in until tomorrow. So get out and enjoy the sunshine today. -3 is our daytime high. That's great. Tomorrow, messy weather on the way. We are going to be seeing snow moving in at around noon. That's going to continue until about 4 p.m. and then we're going to start to see a bit of a transition. The timing of this couldn't be worse. So it's not the snowfall amounts that we're necessarily worried about because, yeah, 5 to 10 centimeters, we can handle that. But that 5 to 10 centimeters is going to be falling right before your evening commute, and then we're going to start to see that transition to freezing rain and ice pellets. That's going to move in through London, through Kitchener, through Waterloo by the afternoon, and then stretch through Hamilton and Oakville and up through Toronto and in through Scarborough and all the way out towards Oshawa by the evening. So it is going to be a very dicey drive. Freezing rain and ice pellets could stick around through the overnight. Some areas, especially down towards the south through Hamilton and in through Niagara and St. Catharines, will potentially switch over to just straight rain. So 5 to 10 centimeters, generally speaking, and then unfortunately, temperatures are going to cool down throughout the day on Wednesday. We're going to see an early day high of about -1, and then by Thursday, back to the deep freeze, which means all of that precipitation will freeze over, leading to very slippery road conditions Wednesday and also into Thursday for the GTA.
This weather segment has been brought to you by Fisherman's Friends Lozenges. When the weather has you down, reach for a friend. Fisherman's Friend.